Hi everybody, my name's Alan, and I'm here to tell you how we at CitySwifter are optimizing urban bus networks across the UK. So, how does a guy like me end up optimizing urban bus networks across the UK? Pretty weird, right? 35 years ago, my parents bought their very first bus. Fast forward 35 years, my back garden has been turned into a bus depot. I've literally grown up in the industry. My dinner table is often used as the boardroom. I've driven buses, I've cleaned them, I've washed them, etc. I was even actually doing some of that last weekend. They do know how to keep my feet on the ground. I suppose the key thing I did learn though, and it's what drove CitySwifter, was about management accounts. And we know how important in a low margin industry efficiencies are. Myself and Brian started the business. Brian has actually been a close friend since we were 12 years old. He's actually an ex-Citibank analyst with a huge background in data and finance. We've actually got some of the best computer scientists and mathematicians working for us, and we've also got some of the best advisors we could ask for. So, what is the problem? I suppose, in essence, buses are neither efficient nor reliable. And why is that? I suppose if we look at it, 20% of all operating hours don't generate revenue. 35% load factors, or 35% of all seats have bums on them. And I suppose, why is that? An easy way to actually understand it is to bring it back to scheduling. On average, bus operators only have 3 schedules. They have a Monday to Friday schedule, a Saturday schedule, and a Sunday schedule. But we all know that for various numbers of reasons, passenger demand changes every hour, never mind every single day, as do journey times. What this has led to is operators either constantly undersupplying or oversupplying the market, with margins on average across the industry at only 7%. So, if you ask the average person on the street how public transport works, they would probably tell you there is a gigantic supercomputer telling you how it all works, pulling all the data and making all the decisions. Unfortunately, that is not the case. What is actually happening is there's 25-year-old systems that were built, running most of it, built even before the cloud, and in some cases, a huge amount of paper and pen still being used. So, CitySwifter is that supercomputer. So what we do in essence is we correlate all the data and create those, output those decisions, which gives the operator an ability to create a new schedule for every single day. In essence, better matching supply and demand than ever before. So, being Irish, we do have a background in the airline industry, and there is some similarities. So what Ryanair did was actually, most people think it was about this flexible pricing where they charge you a fortune last minute, but that actually wasn't what it was. When they started out, they had a core focus on operational efficiency. And in essence, what that meant was that they were able to turn planes around, faster than ever before. What that, in essence, the end result of that was better reliability because they had more wiggle room with times, and essentially more paid hours versus operating hours. So how does the platform actually work? When we partner with operators, they share with us all their internal internal transport data that we do complex cleaning and association with. But that's not giving back out core business intelligence to the operators with granularity never seen before. But that's actually not the clever thing. What we do is we take all those results and we apply them to big data. Anything in essence that can affect passenger demand or journey times. Our output is key as well. We can output in a source file that essentially plugs directly into the operator's existing systems. So what have we actually done over the last 6 months? We've been working with a number of PLCs, including we're also working with Brighton and Hove recently, going through how we could possibly work together. We'd be really excited if that was a possibility moving forward. We've actually just closed our investment round, which has been, funnily enough, led by the founders of Ryanair. And also we opened our New York office. So lastly, I just want to leave you with a thought that goes around our heads all the time. So imagine a world where Google or Apple ran the buses. We all know that data would drive the schedule and technology would deal with the logistics. Thank you very much.
I love this quote, Alan. I mean, what we're seeing is obviously the rapid rise of ride sharing and loads of other types of mobility. How do you think buses can compete in this new future?
I actually think in the bus industry we put ourselves down and we actually forget about what our strengths are. We actually have the infrastructure there. We're extremely hard to disrupt. So, and you can already see, I suppose, if the Pick Me Up that's been done by Go Ahead Group is a great example of it. But essentially, I suppose, there's no better way to transport people around a city by the amount of space it takes up on the road and by the amount of emissions. So the bus will be around for another few years if I have anything to say about it.
That's a good thing for a lot of people here. Thank you, Alan.